I am going to do this one more time because I tried to go back and watch what Tim and I had just did, and my audio was so terrible that it ruined the entire thing. And I was not able to even understand what I was saying, and I was the one saying it. So I'm going to give it a few minutes, and maybe anybody who's still interested can jump back on. And I'm going to talk about this saber one more time, and hope that Tim doesn't kill me. And I'll probably take down the other one because it's rough. Anyway, um, it's going to be a recording that will stay up. So I see two people hopped on. Thank you for coming back. um, my mic was horrible, and I did have a lot of things to say about this saber, and I wanted it to be able to come through. So it was a really good time working on this with Tim. We had a lot of fun making this saber. Hopefully, my mic is fine now. It seems to be fine. But yeah, we had a lot of fun making this saber. It was a labor of love for us. Um, Something that came very easy for us to work together with, and it's like from two people who aren't used to working with anybody else when it comes to sabers. This is kind of a solo sport when it comes to installing and doing stuff in this hobby. Um, so it's always, it's always like new ground when you work with somebody. And Tim and I are really good friends. It was a seamless transition. It was really nice to work with somebody who pushes me to try to be better, because we each have our own different styles. So we each brought an equal amount of our own styles, I think, to the saber, and it was really fun, right? So he would design the saber, kicked it over to me. Hey, thanks Matthew, thanks Tim, Warren. Giving this one more shot, Tim. I had to plug in my mic. Unfortunately, this mic doesn't work on StreamYard when I have multiple people for whatever reason. But yeah, he designed the saber and then he sent it over to me. This has certain aspects, like this box right here started out as something that I had used for my scrap tech, but Tim put his own little spin on it, which was really cool. Did the handle, sent it over to me. I made a few changes, sent it over to him, asked him what he thought. He made a few changes from those. And like I said, we did that 3 or 4 times. And then we finally came up with this guy, and I think that we came up with a really great product. Something that we're both very happy with, and I hope that you guys enjoy it too. So it does accept a 28mm speaker. Now I can finally go into detail and you guys can hear what I'm saying. The chassis that Tim designed in typical Tirfon orbital fashion is a sweet chassis. I didn't even fire it up on the last one because I was so worried about my audio that I forgot to fire it up. But we're going to take a look at this battery cover. If I can get it to zoom in, it's just dope, right? And then this piece right here, I really love what he did with this piece. So instead of going with a traditional crystal chamber, what he did was he went greebly heavy on it, which I really like. And then mine in particular has some red and green LEDs. They might come with some red and blue LEDs. I chose to do red and green here because this is what I had. But these both light up. So you'll see these light up here in a second. All right, this is obviously for a Profi. You've got your kill switch right in front of the board here. 28mm speaker, which will likely be the Smuggler's Outpost because that's what we both use, right? So it'll either be the Elite version or Dark Side version. All right, it does take a full 18650. So if we pop that out, put it in here, battery fits in there nice. These magnets were new to me. This is something that Tim uses. So when I put this together, I put them together wrong, and I was kind of giving him the side eye because I didn't want to ask Tim for help using magnets. They should have been, for me, I was like, I'm not going to ask somebody how to use magnets. I don't want to look stupid. So I showed him, I was like, oh man, these are fitting kind of strange. And then he laughed at me and showed me how to do it. But when you use them right, they're very strong and very good. All right, flip this kill switch. See those red and green blinkies going, which is really cool. Crystal chamber. So Tim designed the chassis. I designed the crystal chamber add-on. All right, so you got your crystal chamber going there. It is a 2-button setup, so there's 2 switches underneath this clamp card. This clamp card is made out of brass. That's what we chose to go with. The front will be power. Back is auxiliary. Twist off. We have a few things on this saber that we changed from this prototype. I have to mess with my power switch a little bit. That's why I put the twist on feature on here. But all of the things that we changed and had changed for production are basically like internal things that you'll never see, right? Like a slot for the wire passage. We came in, and even though we got several different options for the handle, and we chose to go with this option, so we have a bare aluminum handle with a black anodized knurled grip, like it's an insert. Is there a window on the crystal opening, or is it just a cutout? This is a cutout. There's no window. All right, it stays open. All right, so we chose to go with the black anodized slip-in knurled sleeve, but on the production run, you won't see the black anodization on the inside of the handle. We took that out to give the chassis just a little bit more room, because Tim designed the chassis to be a very nice fit in here, but when they anodized the inside of this grip, it made it kind of tight. So we changed that. What else did we change? 2 more things for the internal stuff, just for some like installability. But as far as looks go, this is what we've got. This, of course, will be a plain aluminum shroud. It will match the handle. Go ahead and turn this off real quick. The shroud will match the handle. I am laser etching the shroud and the handle. If you want, you could do either or. You could do both. I don't mind doing that if that's something that you want me to do. We are going to do a group buy for this chassis. It's important that if you sign up on the sign up sheet that we're about to post later on this evening, if you want this chassis, to let us know now, because these sabers are due to us around the 3rd week of February, and that's about how long it takes to have all these brass parts printed. So what we would like to do is do a group buy for this, for whoever wants it. We could get these ordered and then get these chassis in right about the same time that we get the sabers in. So if we have those installs going, we don't have anything holding us up. All right, so that would be important to tell us on the sign up sheet. All right, I want to take this off and show you guys this particular feature is something that Tim designed that I thought was really cool. And if you light it up, you can see it, but I want to show you with the shroud off, because you can take out your blade retention tool or your blade retention knob, which is right there, and you can unscrew this guy. That is Tim's trademark square LEDs for sure, Warren. So this is something that Tim designed into the inside of the emitter. You've got all of these slots in here, so you get some cool shine through. Turn this on. Of course, you'll see it there, but if you screw this on, which we'll do real quick, line this up, screw this in, hopefully you can see that from here. I know I've got a light shining right towards me, but even if I hold it like this, you can see the shine through coming through here, but you can see it better like that underneath. And then if you have this just in a regular room, swinging it around, it's very pronounced all around here, right? So that was a really cool feature that Tim came up with. And then you get, might be hard for me shining this in your face, but you also get shine through all around here on the circumference of the emitter. So that's really cool as well. All right, so I wanted to, you know, like I said, come back and explain that with a mic that everybody could understand. There are a lot of design features, you know, that I thought needed to be pointed out. So like this brass bar on this Canon Y clamp is super cool. That was a Tim thing. These brass bars here, which I wasn't sure that the factory would be able to do, but they did pull those off. That was also a Tim thing, and that's super cool. And then I think that we showed it earlier, but he put the flash unit main on the model, not thinking that we would actually get that in the production run, but we did. So that was a nice little surprise. Will the crystal chamber have a door or lid? No, it's a wide open crystal chamber. That is, it's a cutout for a crystal chamber, no door. So you got that flash unit main there. You've got that model number here, and then it does say Philadelphia, Pennsylvania down here, which will be kind of hard for me to focus in on. Maybe you could see it. You could just see it in the light right there. Philadelphia, PA, USA. So that was really cool that they put that little feature on there. Just a small touch. All right. I'm going to take my battery out. Very easy to do. Our buddy Kasith made us a super dope Convergence font to go with this. So a copy of that font will go out with the Saber. Whether you get it installed or if you just buy the empty Saber, you get a copy of that font. That was the thing that Keenan allowed us to do. So that was super cool. All right. And there it is. Of course, mine is slightly weathered. And like I was saying, ours got sent to us at the same time, but unfortunately Tim's got it got randomly flagged for a customs inspection. And I don't know how many times a day he checks his tracking number, but I check it at least 4 or 5 times a day for him, just because I'm excited for him to get this in his hand, and it's still locked in. It hasn't been inspected yet, so I'm really hoping that he gets that before we get the actual run, so that he can do his thing to it, because he's going to put his own touches on the install, even though it's the exact same chassis and the exact same Saber. It's going to be a little bit different from each of us, right? So I'm excited to see what he does with his, see him post his, and have a chance to play with it. But that is our Convergence Saber. Thank you guys for tuning back in and watching me one more time. I tried to watch that first one that we did a few minutes ago, and it was just like it was horrendous. Like I knew I had an echo from here, but when I watched it on my phone, I was like, golly. Totally ruined that. So sorry, Tim. I hope that I was able to come back and cover all the bases. It was just really cool to be able to bring a Saber to life with a really good friend of mine, somebody that I respect a lot in the hobby. And we were able to take both of our styles, I think, and mesh them cohesively into a Saber. All right, so that is the Convergence Saber. We're going to put a sign up sheet on our pages. We're going to line out all the different options. If you want it clean and empty, if you want it weathered and empty, and I'll also put the prices for everything, right? Or I'm sorry, we will put the prices for everything. So clean and empty, weathering, if you want that. If you want the brass hybrid chassis, if you want that, that will be $330 for that chassis. If you want an eco chassis, we could print you out one for like 20 bucks. A Profi install on this guy, whether you go with the brass hybrid chassis or if you go with the eco chassis, is, I don't want to misquote you, so let me see, $280. All right. So thank you guys for tuning in. I do blame Tim Cole. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I will now end this and put up the sign up sheet. Thanks, guys. Have a good weekend.